Layperson here, and welcome to the final episode of Kitchen Table Jank versus the World. We're completing the big free card game triumphant, whatever you want to call it, by playing Yu-Gi-Oh this week. And this week we're playing a dragon deck. Wait. Come back. It's not that dragon deck you're thinking of. Yes, Dragon Link has been top tier in the TCG recently, thanks to some rather over-the-top degenerate combos, but this is not quite like that at all. In fact, this is a very inconsistent dragon deck. It's a Rokket deck, to be more precise. So we should go over this history of this deck, as well as my history of Yu-Gi-Oh in general. So I'd previously gotten into Magic and Pokemon before Yu-Gi-Oh came around. Yu-Gi-Oh sort of hit the scene for me around 2002 to 2003, I want to say. I first started watching the show and I thought, this game looks an awfully lot familiar like Magic. I later find out it's because of the manga creator was inspired by Magic the Gathering in particular when he was creating his Duel Monsters card game, as it were, which was, or Wizards and Magic as it was called in the manga. But yeah, obviously Yu-Gi-Oh was pretty big at the time, and so I decided that I was going to pick up the starter deck Kaiba all the way back then, which, well, I just thought, I think I just picked one and I thought Kaiba looked like a cooler character. That's just probably why I went with that one in the end. But yeah, it had the legendary Blue Eyes White Dragon in it, so gotta go for that nostalgia value, I guess. And then I also, they did a booster pack, pulled the head of Exodia, which I ended up, I was so happy about that I decided to try and keep it in a separate compartment for the rest of my collection to try and keep it safe. In hindsight, I should have kept it in a binder because it's in pretty poor condition now, but hey, who was I to know any better about it? So yeah, I kept hold of my collection. I've decided I wanted to commit to Yu-Gi-Oh a bit more. I decided I would sell my Pokemon and Magic collections in order to be able to just have a Yu-Gi-Oh collection, but keeping one didn't really do too well because none of my other friends really got interested in Yu-Gi-Oh, and so I ended up having this collection that was left in my I was left in my cupboards for many years, and I didn't really bust it out again until 2019, when unfortunately Yu-Gi-Oh had become incredibly power crept by that point, to the fact that they'd introduced all these new features, and I barely even remembered how to play the rules properly, because when I tried to get a deck together, also featuring cards from the Saga of Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, so there are two Blue Eyes now, I tried combining the two together and made a hodgepodge of a deck. Unfortunately, the people I was playing against were quite into the competitive side of things, and so I had to play against a full-strength Salaman Great deck. Admittedly, that was probably one of the best structure decks you could get, and it gives you a very easy competitive deck, but let's just say that my deck didn't do too well. And I forgot, I didn't even realise that Monster Reborn was limited, so I ended up playing 2 copies of it in one deck. Yeah, that didn't fare too well, but eventually... And when I tried to relearn the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh and see how all the new mechanics were involved, as well as understanding the basic contents of the rules, I got a bit lost, so it got a bit frustrated, to be honest. It took me about 2 months or so to settle down and finally grasp how this game actually worked, and this was mainly thanks to online simulators. I should probably mention that this week we're not playing on an official server, because unlike Magic and Pokemon, Konami does not have their own official online Yu-Gi-Oh game, aside from Duel Links, I guess, but that's another thing altogether. They also have Legacy of the Duelist, which I could have got on, but I don't actually have the game, and it's missing a few cards that the TCG actually has. I wanted a bit more accurate representation, so we're going on a server that has access to every single card in the game, regardless of restrictions, and we're playing a real-life deck with our own restrictions in many ways, so this could be a real recipe for disaster, or it could be a blessing in disguise. I'll have to see how it goes. So, I did end up abandoning that Blue Eyes deck in favour of getting the Rokket structure deck. I bought 3 Rokket Revolt structure decks, which came out in August, and quickly assembled the deck which I wanted to make, and I had been testing this deck online beforehand. I then made several tweaks over time, including adding the guard dragons to it, which may be a bit more contentious because the guard dragon LP is considered a card that should probably be banned, but maybe it will be on the next ban list, who knows. Maybe by the time that this recording releases, LP will have been banned. I'm sure we'll find out sooner or later, but for now, let's go ahead and see how, let's go ahead and go to the deck profile. Okay, so here's the deck profile. I want to go through this as quickly as possible so we can get onto the game. So I'll give a brief summary of all the effects of all the monsters in the deck. We're playing a Rokket deck, and this is what we have to work with. We have 3 Absolute Dragon, allows you to special summon it as you control a Rokket monster, and also searches for any Rockets in the deck. We have 2 Silver Rokket Dragon, which when it is targeted by a Link monster, can destroy itself, and you can banish a monster from your opponent's extra deck. As part of this deck's main combo, we do this quite frequently. 1 Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, it allows you to build up towards the main combo, and it also searches White Dragon Wyvern Bursters to keep the hand size up. But you need to banish a light in order to be able to summon it. So for that reason, we're running 2 Dragonite of Creation, which just because it's a light and just because it can be banished by Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. Also, it can be linked off for Striker Dragon later on. But it also has the effect where we can use it to send Absolute Dragon to the graveyard. We have 2 copies of Magna Rokket Dragon, which is, when it's destroyed, can send any monster, non-targeting effect by the way, straight from the field to the graveyard. A really useful effect. With 1 White Dragon Wyvern Burster, the counterpart to the Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, so this will require you to banish a dark monster from your graveyard, but it's a much more useful one in this deck because we have so many more darks than we do lights. So, and when this goes to the graveyard, it searches Collapse Serpent, which makes Collapse Serpent even better because then Collapse Serpent can banish Wyvern Burster. So yeah, we also have 1 copy of Metal Rokket Dragon, which allows you to destroy all cards in one particular column when it is targeted by a Link monster. 2 copies of Gateway Dragon, which allows you to special summon another Dark Dragon from your hand after it is special or normal summoned. It can be special summoned if your opponent controls a Link monster, so that's an option for going second. 3 copies of Rokket Tracer, one of the best cards in the deck. This allows you to target any card, destroy it, and special summon a Rokket straight from the deck. Really good card, and it basically is what will enable us to keep most of our hand going forward. So we want to try and get this involved in combos as much as possible. 1 Rokket Recharger, if a dark monster, some of the extra deck gets destroyed, we get to discard this and then revive any other monster from the graveyard. So we can use this as part of combos or as a protection effect, and it can be searched off Absolute Dragon, which is why we're only running 1 of it. Similarly, when 1 Keeper of the Shrine, this is a recursive monster from the graveyard that can come out every time a dragon monster is destroyed. Also, so that we can combo with this, also we can use it as a protection effect to wall off any full power opponents. And also, this combos extremely well with our trap card Guard Dragon Cataclysm because we can then tribute it to destroy 2 cards on the field. 1 copy of Auto Rokket Dragon for dealing with spells and traps. It just sends spells and traps straight from the field to the graveyard, so that's an option if we're against control decks. But we also have other options for dealing with spells and traps in this deck. 1 copy of Shell Rokket Dragon, which allows us to destroy a card in the column that it's in and destroy and create a minefield effect where all cards in adjacent zones get destroyed. 1 Anis Rokket Dragon is the least useful effect wise because it makes the monster unable to attack, which is not as good as getting rid of something altogether, but we are playing it because it's a 1-for-1 target, and 1-for-1 allows us to search it. 1-for-1 also lets us search Rokket Synchron, which can also be searched by Absolute Dragon, and when Rokket Synchron is normal summoned, you get to revive a level 7 Dark Dragon from the graveyard. Rokket Tracer and Rokket Synchron are both tuners which have effects that allow you to set up a level 8 Synchro monster with ease, so we want to take advantage of that, though we lack the main level 8 Synchro monster that's usually played in this archetype due to budget reasons. 1-for-1, and that's sending 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard, and special summon level 1 monster from your hand or deck. So really good card. Basically allows us to get another monster out. We can also even get Absolute if we have it in hand. 1-for-1 plus Absolute and Rokket Tracer or Quick Launch is pretty much the best combination we could have in our opening hands. 1 copy of Dragon Shrine. My other copies are in other decks, but Dragon Shrine does allow us to dump Absolute Dragon into the graveyard immediately and search out anything to add to our hand. So pretty much another means to, it's like having an extra copy of Absolute Dragon. Similarly, like Terraforming is effectively another copy of Absolute Dragon in this deck because it allows us to search out field spells, namely Dragon Ravine, which allows us to then discard a card, then send any dragon to the graveyard. Example, Absolute Dragon. Then we have one monster reborn, the OG card that allows you to revive any monster in the graveyard. Fantastic extender, good for making combo plays, but also if our combo plays get interrupted, we have a follow-up. So very important card in the deck. Shame we can only play one of it. But then again, I suppose having more than one copies would be insanely busted. 3 copies of Quick Launch, where you get there special summon any rocket from the deck, but it is destroyed during the end phase. But that's okay because we usually get to we're only going to link off with it into our link monsters, so that's fine. It doesn't get destroyed. Also, this combo is extremely well with Rocket Tracer, who can then target and destroy Quick Launch before it resolves the effect to effectively summon 2 rocket monsters off this card. 2 copies of Rapid Trigger allows us to access Borrowed Furious Dragon as an alternative means. Borrowed Furious allows us to target one of our monsters and any card our opponent controls and destroy both. We don't really mind them being destroyed because all the rockets have floating effects that allow you to special summon another rocket at the end phase, so we want to be playing that as much as possible. We have 2 copies of Borrow Regenerator, which allows you to revive a rocket monster in the graveyard, and then if the monster gets destroyed, you get to draw a card. We could actually use this to revive Rocket Tracer and have Rocket Tracer target itself, blow itself up, summon another monster, and then draw a free card. So nice drawing through the deck card here. World Legacy Guard Dragon is probably a bit better for combo plays overall, but I like Borrow Regenerator. It has its uses, let's just say. And I like it more card engine draw than script draw. We also have 1 boot sector launch in the deck. I used to run 3, but after the acquisition of a certain card, I cut it down to 1 because we only need to run 1 anymore, and it's kind of a garnet if we draw it, but not completely because we can make plays in the process. Similarly, 1 Dragon Ravine allows us to access Absolute Dragon. 3 Guard Dragon Cataclysm allows us to tribute 1 dragon monster and target 2 cards on the field and destroy them. So this is good if our big boss monster gets destroyed. We can try and level the playing field somewhat and allow us to come back into the game somewhat. But there's also a fantastic combo with Keeper of the Shrine that lets us destroy 2 cards on the opponent's side of the field at the cost of something that we're just going to get back anyway. Finally, I have 1 copy of Compulsory Evacuation Device because I only own 1 copy of this card. But it's a fantastic card anyway, so I thought I might as well include it in the deck. Okay, so that was the main deck. Onto the extra deck. We have 1 Borrowed Furious Dragon, which I've already gone over the effect when I was talking about Rapid Trigger. Now, Rapid Trigger does make it unable to attack except for monsters summoned from the extra deck. So you do have to keep in mind that stipulation. But Borrowed Furious can also blow itself up to get rid of an opposing card. And then it has an effect in the graveyard where it can revive any Dark Link Dragon Link monster. So quite useful there. We have Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, which can be synchro summoned and we can then blow up our opponent's entire board. So a good board wipe option if we're staring down the barrel of defeat. We just get 2 level 4 dragon monsters, synchro them, and then we can create a board wiping machine. Albeit we can't wipe normal summon monsters, so you need to keep that in mind. We have Tornado Dragon, which is an option for destroying spells and traps. Just be mindful that if you use Rocket Tracer's effect, you cannot summon this thing. Most of our extra deck is dark monsters and the main combo involves dark, so normally I don't mind being locked into only dark monsters by Tracer, but for this particular monster you kind of want to stay off that. Same with Abyss Dweller. This is here for graveyard centric decks like Salamangreat and any other things like zombies. They just shut off graveyard effects so that they can't use their effects in the graveyard, so very useful card overall, although it's situational, so it's not something you always want to go into, but it's there just in case. 1 Unchained Abomination. This is one of the boss monsters we want to go into. This is a card can destroy up to 3 cards in a single turn, depending on how things go. So it can destroy cards if if any card on the field is destroyed. It just destroys a card in the end phase, and if a monster is destroyed by battle, you can just destroy another card on the field. So it's a quantum destruction machine which has to synergize far better with rockets than its own Unchained archetype, which is pretty funny when you think about it. And it's also much easier to bring out too. 1 Borrowed Dragon, the OG boss monster of the rocket archetype, basically allows you to. It has a spell speed 4 activation ability that allows you to reduce the attack and defense of any monster on the field, and this combo is well with our rocket monsters because that allows us to trigger their effects and disrupt the opponent's plays. And because it's spell speed 4, the opponent cannot respond to the effects, so really good there. 1 Topologic Zeroboros, the boss monster of the structure deck. This that can banish everything on the field if a monster is summoned to the zones that it points to. So ideally we want it outside of the extra monster zone, but that's situational really. But that means that if you have it outside the extra monster zone in the center, then your opponent summons to the extra monsters. If the opponent summons to the extra monster zone, bam! The entire field gets banished, and this thing gets pumped for every banished card. One triple burst dragon. This card is in here for the fact that you can attack over defense position monsters and inflict piercing damage. One Galaxy Satellite Dragon has an effect that lets you stack your deck at the end, but we only play this mainly because of its arrows and allows you to set up the guard dragons. Similarly, we're also playing Booster Dragon for a similar reason, except this has a harsher summoning requirement of 2 rocket monsters. This one has more utility in allowing us to boost the attack and defense of any of our creep monsters, and that can also be an option for targeting all our other rockets like Silver Rocket, etc. One Delindrous Dragon. This can revive itself from the graveyard every time a rocket monster is summoned. So if we link summon this and then destroy the Delindrous Dragon with our next monster, we can effectively get to revive. We get to create a massive on-field advantage, and this is why it's in the deck. And the monster that enables this is Quad Barrel Dragon, where if you discard a card, target any monster in the field, and destroy it. And if that monster is a link monster, you get to summon rocket monsters from your graveyard up to the link rating of that link monster. So really good utility card. The only downside is it only has 1,000 attack, but really good card overall. Guard Dragon Pisty allows you to summon any dragon monster from the graveyard, whereby at least 2 link monsters are pointing to that zone. Now the catch is that you can only summon dragon monsters while it's on the field, but most of our deck is dragon monsters anyway, and the only things we are locked out of are Xyz monsters, Unchained Abomination, Topologic Zeroboros. One Striker Dragon, the luckiest pull I ever got from a booster pack of Chaos Impacts, is the exact card I needed for the deck, and this is why, because it searches boot sector launch, and also has the effect where you can put cards back into your hand by destroying another monster on the field, like Guard Dragon Pisty for instance. And finally, the most broken card in the deck is probably Guard Dragon LP, which allows you to summon any dragon monster from the deck to a zone that 2 or more link monsters point to. By the time this video is out, this card may well be banned. But hopefully it doesn't come to that just yet. In the side deck, we have 3 Lava Golems for tributing opponent monsters, 3 World Chalice Guard Dragon because it can be used as a hand trap, 1 Polymerization for additional fusion, 3 Twin Twisters for spell and trap removal, 1 Squib Draw for additional card draw, 1 Enemy Controller for stealing opposing monsters, 1 Fiendish Chain for another Anas Rocket Dragon effect. Don't know why this is in here mainly, but I need the spare cards. 1 Imperial Order stops all spell and trap spell effects on the field, so really good card, so good against spell decks. And for trap decks, we have Red Reboot. Now, the downside of this deck is it's extremely vulnerable to Nibiru and Super Polymerization, but hopefully we won't run into that too much, especially in the casual server. So, let's take this kitchen table jank, and let's take on the world! Okay, we're ready for another week of constant defeats since we can play Yugioh this time. Again, we haven't played in a while, and we're going second. This is particularly bad. No, actually, we're going first. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I want to say that we're going to go ahead and normal summon a Metal Rocket Dragon. Link it off for Striker Dragon. Grab ourselves Boot Sector Launch. Activate Boot Sector Launch to special summon 2 rockets from our hand. We're going to go ahead and summon Rocket Tracer and Anas Rocket Dragon. And then Rocket Tracer, I'm going to activate its effect to destroy Boot Sector Launch and get ourselves a Silver Rocket Dragon directly from the deck. We might be getting an OTK yet there because they deliberately chose to go second, so I'm kind of wary of that. However, for now we're going to go into Galaxy Satellite Dragon. Then we're going to go ahead and summon Guard Dragon Pisty and Guard Dragon LP. They also might be running hand traps, we should be very mindful of that. We're going to activate Pisty's effect first. And then we're going to summon Anas Rocket Dragon from the graveyard. We're going to link these 2 off for Quad Barrel Dragon. Okay, now the moment of truth. Will LP's effect resolve? Yes, it does. We're going to go and get Absolouter Dragon from the deck. Link both of them off for Delindrous Dragon. And now we're going to use Absolute's effect to get us a Rocket Recharger straight to hand. We're going to use that for protection mainly. Quad Ball Dragon's effect is going to activate. We're going to discard Terraforming, destroy Dangerous Dragon, and special summon Rocket Tracer and Silver Rocket Dragon from the graveyard. And Dangerous Dragon is going to trigger. I'm also going to use the effect of our Rocket Recharger to get another monster out, which will probably just be the Striker Dragon. Then we're going to go ahead and link Striker Dragon, Rocket Tracer, and Galaxy Satellite Dragon off for Borrowload Dragon. Then we're going to link the other two Link 2s off for Unchained Abomination. Now we're going to activate Borrowload's effect, targeting Silver Rocket. And then we're going to use Silver Rocket's effect to destroy itself and look at the opponent's extra deck. And we are against an Invoked deck. So they got 3 Mechaburs, so they're probably running Super Poly, which could be very bad for us. This deck would hard lose to Super Poly, so... Okay, so they're playing a lot of fusions. We could banish their Predaplants and make it easier. It's a lot harder for them to do so, but there's a very easy combo that allows them to easily get into Mechabur with Invoked, so... We'll go ahead and banish the Predaplant Vertic Anaconda, but it's still going to leave their Mechaburs up, so we are got a bit of a problem here then. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is... Okay, so end phase. We're going to use the effect of our Silver Rocket Dragon. And we're going to go ourselves a Magna Rocket Dragon, and then during their turn we're going to try and hit... after they link off their Alistair, we're going to go ahead, well, unless we don't get super polyed, obviously. They have Nadir Servant. Oh boy. So we'll get some Dogmatica Invoked variant by the looks of it. We're not going to do anything about that just yet. So, looks like they're doing some different things here. So we get Dogmatica. So Dogmatica are a really good deck. They're a better deck than us anyway. We're not going to do anything just yet, which is a bit of a problem because we've now lost our Unchained Abomination. Okay, they special summoned a Dogmatica Maximus. The effect is going to trigger. During menu age, you can send 2 monsters with different names from your extra deck to the graveyard. Also, your opponent sends 2 monsters from their extra deck to the graveyard. That's going to be pretty big, actually. Let's see what happens from here, but it looks like their extra deck is just fuel full of Dogmatica stuff, which is probably why they have 3 Mechabur, but I haven't seen any Invoked stuff yet, but I would figure they'd probably be playing stuff like that. We're going to go ahead... Do they have anything that triggers the game? We'll sacrifice our Booster Dragon because it's not much use at this point, and the Triple Burst. Yeah. So, now we have Dogmatic Ecclesia, who activates. I have not played Yu-Gi-Oh! Much over this past year, so forgive me if I'm a bit unfamiliar with the newer cards that came out this year. We'll say no to that just for now. Using Unchained Abomination sucks big time, but okay, so that's we're just gonna keep comboing them on. See how things go. We may well be about to lose this one instantly, but I don't know. Okay, now they've got Dogmatica Third Release. Okay, well that thing looks pretty good. And we've negated our Borrowload's effects, so that's pretty bad. Okay, I didn't realise it would do that. That sucks. This is why I should read the card more often. Okay, right, well, we're pretty much screwed here, so, losing Borreload's, being able to negate Borreload's effects is pretty big. So yeah, this is looking like a very likely defeat because I missed the fact that this thing would turn off my effects. So they can destroy Borreload as well because of this thing's effect. It's no use doing anything with Borreload, its effects aren't working right now. So yeah, we could try but it won't do anything, so yeah. And what can we do here actually? Yeah, I'm happy to get Borreload back in the deck, so oh, but that just allows them to attack over it. Okay, right, that's pretty bad. Okay, we still have something, but oh, what just activated? They're just gonna get their fleur-de-lis back. I'm gonna use Magna Rocket's effect from the graveyards to grab ourselves Rocket Tracer. Okay, I think I know what we're gonna do this turn. We're gonna quick launch. That's going through for a follow up. We're gonna go normal summon Magna Rocket Dragon. And they have a trap card. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. They're gonna go ahead and destroy our Rocket Tracer. Fortunately, we have the follow up. What? They can destroy that too? Okay. We're gonna go ahead and have another Rocket Tracer. And then I think we just concede here. That trap card really screwed over my plans there, so yeah, that's game. On to game 2. Wow, we lost that last game because I didn't really know what Dogmatica cards did. And it seems that the paper meta for rock, paper, scissors is really active and wild here because we lost another rock, paper, scissors have been made to go second. So this is pretty bad. We've got 2 Guard Dragon Cataclysms in hand. We are against Eldlich. That is pretty bad. I went to casual servers to try to avoid this, but people are just playing all these super powered meta decks anyway, so hey, what do I know? I'm gonna go and summon an Inspector Border. Neither player can activate monster effects. This is the number of monster. Okay, so this is pretty bad. So so that means we could. I think we're limited to 1 monster effect. So what we're gonna do is put 2 Guard Dragon Cataclysms down, and I think we use our Dragon Shrine to dump an Absolute Dragon to the graveyard. Which isn't going to work because of Inspector Border, so I just think we play the set pass game here. Because we can't beat over the Inspector Border with our current things here, so let's see how things go. They go over to battle phase. It's going to swing over the our face down monster. Eventually, no, they're not going to bother to attack. Okay. We're going to destroy the Inspector Border and curse Eldland. Do they have a response? So the Inspector Border is gone. Unfortunately, because we tributed, we could actually use the float effects of our Magna Rocket Dragon to get another monster. Problem is that because we destroyed that, they get more resources back and they get to dump another thing. So yeah, this is a problem we have here. And they get to sack Eldlich of Scarlet Sanguine directly from the deck. This is one of the best cards in the Eldlich archetype, and we hard drew the boot sector launch. I don't think that's particularly ideal. We'll go activate boot sector launch. So yeah, that basically acts as access to everything that they have in the deck. So that is kind of problematic. So I think we just have to play the long game here and just do another set pass. I probably could have summoned, but they'll have something that will allow them to destroy it anyway. We're going to hit this card down here. Do they have a response? Yes! Okay, so they're going to summon that as a normal monster, so they'll be able to swing over with us, but I wanted to get rid of Golden Lord, because he's the main threat of their deck, really. They'll also banish the Magna Rocket Dragon from our graveyard. Also, oh, they can revive it. This thing. Well, that's control decks for you. Endlessly able to get access to their resources if needs be these days. So they've got another Golden Lord into their hands. And he's going to summon himself, and it's now a 3,500 attack beast. So we're going to be taking... And they have another one. So we have lost Boot Sector launch. So, what now? And they got Scarlet Sanguine back again. We're going to go here and use Dragon Ravine. Activate this to pitch out Anas Rocket Dragon. And send Absolute Dragon. Oh, for goodness sake. So we're going to lose our Dragon Ravine. But the effect is still not going to trigger. Okay, right. That's game over. This is a massacre, to be fair, say the least. Hopefully we can get some lesser power decks to face off in the future, but right now we're not really having the best of luck with it. So on to game 3. Getting on to game 3, and because we lost the paper twice, we're going to go scissors this time. This time means we are actually going to go first. Hopefully we get to avoid the stuff that has plagued us so far, having faced Invoked Dogmatica and Eldlich. Maybe we'll get a deck that's more on our own level. What we're going to do is use a normal summon Rocket Tracer, then summon Absolute Dragon from its effect. Special summon down here. We're going to go ahead and link these two off. Or link Rocket Tracer off for Striker Dragon. I'll grab now Boot Sector launch from the deck. Now we're going to go ahead and use Boral Regenerator to revive our Rocket Tracer. We'll have Rocket Tracer activated its effect, target itself. And special summon a Silver Rocket Dragon. And we'll activate the effect of Boral Regenerator to draw a card. Maybe we can get into a rocket. That's a Dragon Knight of Creation, so not really ideal. What we want to do now is link these two off for Galaxy Satellite Dragon, so we can trigger our Absolute effects and add a rocket from deck to hand. Not Rocket Synchron, because we've always summoned that thing. We're going to go ahead and just nab Shell Rocket out. Then we're going to activate Boot Sector launch. And then use its effect to special summon Shell Rocket from our hand. Link it off for Pisty. And link Silver Rocket off for LP. No Nibiru so far, but they can activate at any time. In fact, judging by the wait time, they don't actually have a Nibiru, so that's very encouraging news. We do have a Monster Reborn in hand as an extender if needs be, but so far it doesn't look like we've needed it. We're going to special summon Quad Brawl Dragon. LP effect's going to activate, and we're going to get Keeper of the Shrine directly from the deck. link these two off into a Delindrous Dragon. And we're getting some good resources hand-wise, so we're going to go ahead and activate Quadboral's effect to discard Dragonite of Creation and destroy our Delindrous Dragon. And we're going to special summon rocket monsters. We're going to go ahead and get Rocket Tracer and Silver Rocket Dragon out from the graveyard. I've already used Tracer's effect, haven't I? Okay, we probably would have used Monster Reborn to help. No, because Keeper of the Shrine is in there as well, so we get to keep our hand. This is pretty good. Okay, we're going to go ahead and link summon a Borreload Dragon. Oh crap, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, right. I kind of screwed up a bit there. We can summon a Topologic Zeroboros to this zone right here. So I kind of screwed up here. We can still banish stuff from the extra deck. We're going to set a rapid trigger anyway. So in the end phase, we're going to use Unchained Abomination's effect to destroy Silver Rocket Dragon. And that's going to activate its effect. Get to banish a monster from their extra deck. Someone's playing Nekroz, clearly. Okay, so this does look a little bit more of a casual deck. They don't have any, they're running more Singer Engine. Now, Herald of the Arclight is probably one of the best things they have, but they have 3 of them, so it'll be very easy for them. Castell looks pretty good to me. This is the problem here. You kind of have to know what your opponent's deck is playing when you play this deck, so to know what hurts them. Totally Awesome's a interesting thing to go for. I mean, that's from that I've probably banished the Toad, but it's probably the wrong decisions. We know of a chance to destroy something on the field, but I'm not going to do that. So we're going to ahead use our Silver Rocket Dragon. I'm going to get Magnum Rocket out. Actually, no, we should have gone for Rocket Tracer because then we could proc it. So that was a mistake. Yeah, we should have gone Rocket Tracer from the deck so that we can destroy itself to proc the Unchained Abomination. So it doesn't really matter though if they have something to remove our entire board. And we're against Nekroz. Okay. That's bad. So Nekroz are a pretty good ritual-based archetype. They have some very powerful monsters. Unicorn in particular is pretty good. So it looks like they're using their extra deck as more of a resource for and there's the Unicorn. So now we cannot use any of our effects from the monster special summon from the extra deck. So we... Not that we could anyway, because I should have summoned Rocket Tracer. All these constant mistakes, dang it. Doesn't help it doesn't help if you're playing underpowered decks. It's one thing to play underpowered decks. It's another thing to then mess up when you're actually playing said underpowered decks, which reduces your chances even more. When they require you to be on top, it's not really ideal to be making stupid decisions like this. So yeah, as I said, Nekroz of Unicorn is a ridiculously powerful card that pretty much negates all of our extra deck monsters. So Silver Rocket did absolutely nothing in the end. So the extra deck was a ruse. Also because the effect of Zeroboros were negated, it loses the attack bonus and goes down to 3,000. So yeah, not completely ideal. We do have the Monster Reborn in hand, which could be pretty good. But we really need to get rid of that Unicorn because it's really prohibitive, but I'm not sure if we will be able to. So they have just discarded Brioniac to get themselves Trishula, which is another one of the best of Nekroz cards. They have used Nekroz Mirror to ritual summon any Nekroz ritual monster. So that's probably getting them Trishula, yep. And Trishula basically allows them to protect their Unicorn, so anything we try to do against them, they can negate it, which is problematic to say the least. Okay, so we have a slight problem here that all our destruction effects are based on extra deck monsters, and Unicorn pretty much hard shuts that down. So what we really need to do is beat over it, but we're not be able to keep our 3,000 attack monsters, remains to be seen, and fun! You can banish exactly 3 of your opponent's cards, one each from their hand, field, and graveyard. So we've lost our monster reborn, which is not particularly great. We can't use Unchained Abomination's effect. We're going to go ahead and activate the effect of our Magna Rocket Dragon to get a Rocket Tracer out from the deck. But they have the Call by the Grave, which stops that dead on. Okay. Well, we do have Boot Sector to launch to make some recoveries, but I'm not quite sure if that will actually work or not because of the fact that Trishula can negate it. We'll have to set this anyway, and then revive Rocket Tracer and Shell Rocket Dragon. Now, we can't really blow up their board, so we'll just go ahead to battle phase and attack over their Nekroz of Unicorn. And they have Valkyrus. And pretty much ends the battle phase immediately. For goodness sake. Right. Okay, well that's a hand effect actually when I look at it. So what we can actually do is tribute our... Oh wait, that's a rapid trigger, my mistake. Okay, right, I activated the wrong thing here, so I'm just going to go ahead and... So we don't get the effects from that, but maybe we can tribute it later on. Right. Okay. This game has just been one loss of mistakes after another, really. Okay, let's wait for a moment. Now, with the Nekroz of Trishula effect, it can... So they're going to use Incantation Brookstone. Now, Candlelight effect activates. What I'm going to do now is actually tribute my Borlo Furious Dragon to get rid of their Unicorn and their Trishula. And that's going to free up Unchained Abomination's effect so we can use it. Any of these have graveyard effects? Can't see that, but we're going to get rid of Brookstone. Okay. Let's see what they can do next. We have the Furious Dragon in the graveyard to revive anything that we might need. Now they have another Valkyrus out, which is actually the card draw engine, which is potentially very dangerous. Yeah, and they do tribute it to go into other things. And now they have a Rota. They could get another Unicorn out again, so that's problematic. They go for Classless. Classless are going to discard, add one Nekroz from their deck to the hand. And going to end phase. We have definitely for the opponents to destroy, so actually we've made a decent comeback here. We're going to go and move this to attack. And we're going to activate our Borlo Furious Dragon to revive... okay, because I thought we got banished. Okay, we're going to revive the Galaxy Satellite Dragon. His effect is irrelevant anyway, so... Okay, hopefully they do not have the Nekroz that ends the battle phase. So we're going to try anyway. We're going to go ahead and attack with Unchained Abomination. Galaxy Satellite Dragon. I think we can actually do it. Because after Rocket Tracer attacks, we then activate the effect to destroy it. And then bring in a Silver Rocket Dragon. Or a Magna Rocket even. Anything actually. Okay, and we win the game. So yay! Victory to Kitchen Table Jank! Yes! A very long, grueling match against Nekroz, but we managed to get the win. On to the next game. So we'll go for it again. Scissors is the new meta. Okay, so we have an interesting set here. Black Dragon Collapse is going to be a dead card, so we're going to use 1 for 1, dump it into the graveyard, and special summon Anis Rocket Dragon from the deck. Actually, no, wait, it would have been dead because of okay, that's an immediate mistake there made. We go ahead and link it off for Striker Dragon. Add Boot Sector Launch from deck to hand. Now we're going to use Dragon Shrine to dump an Absolute Dragon into the graveyard. And have ourselves Rocket Synchron. Normal summon our Rocket Synchron. Activate his effect to revive Absolute Dragon. Now we're going to go ahead and use Boot Sector Launch. Use that to summon our Metal Rocket Dragon. Now we have a slight issue that we don't have access to Rocket Tracer here, so we might have to summon that off LP. I think we'll probably have to actually. So yeah, Galaxy Satellite Dragon, I'm going to link these two. Create LP. And Pisty's effect. Gonna revive Rocket Synchron. And then link these two off for Quad Ball Dragon. LP effect. Gets Rocket Tracer. Who's then gonna blow up LP to summon a Silver Rocket Dragon. We're not going to get full combo here and full board by any means, which could be a problem. Anyway, we're going to get Delindrous Dragon. So what I really should have done was normal summon Dragon Knight of Creation and use the Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. That would have given us enough resources. But we do what we have. We activate this, discard you, destroy you, special summon, Rocket Tracer, Silver Rocket Dragon. And activate Delindrous Dragon's effect. Special summon that right here. We're going to go ahead and link the Quad Brawl. We're going to go into Unchained Abomination. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. We'll leave the Galaxy Satellite Dragon there. And we're going to be using leaving our Rocket Tracer as fuel for destroying other stuff in the next turn. So we're going to end the board right there. So it's not the full board, but we're going to use Unchained Abomination to destroy Silver Rocket Dragon. And look at what our opponent's extra deck is. Hopefully this time is a deck that actually requires an extra deck. Yugioh, Hope Harbinger. They've got a lot of good stuff in here. IP Masquerena, Appaloosa, Boral Sword, Access Code Talker. There's some really good stuff. IP Masquerena is going to go for Nightmare Unicorn, which is a bit problematic for us. Yugioh is another big threat. Hope Harbinger, well, that can negate spells and traps. We don't play too much of those, so I'm actually going to leave that in there. Now, Yugioh can send anything to the graveyard, getting around targeting effects. IP Masquerena is I'm going to say we're going to go ahead and get rid of IP. It's easy to make and allows them to pretty much disrupt our plays. And no, I think we're going to use the effect of Silver Rocket Dragon to bring out a Magna Rocket Dragon. And we'll go for this board now. We might lose the Galaxy Satellite Dragon, but if it survives, we get to fix our draw for next turn, which should be pretty good. The Gates of the Dark World. Oh, fun. Card destruction. When we have 0 cards in hand, rip. And that's going to trigger. So when we get to Dark World deck, so they have a lot of discard effects. So that's going to trigger a lot of stuff. And they've got dangers as well. Was there a graph in there? Okay. So we've just drawn and discarded a Rocket Tracer through the effect of Mothman. And they're going to get, yeah, there's Grapher. Target one card your opponent controls to destroy that target. So if they can discard the Grapher, which they probably will do, we will probably be losing our Unchained Abomination. Right, okay. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and... if I go for the Abomination now, I think about it. Yeah, so I think what we'll do is... Grapher's effect hasn't triggered yet. Thing is, we want to really... yeah, I suppose it depends. We only really want to destroy that if they're going to destroy the Unchained Abomination. It doesn't look like they have the means to discard Grapher just yet. Maybe they will during our turn, so maybe it's wise to try and... keep something here. Chupacabra is gonna activate and randomly discards Ogopogo. Summons the Chupacabra. Ogopogo's effect activates. You can send 1 danger card from your deck to your graveyard. So it looks like we get Danger Darkwood. They're gonna send Bigfoot to the graveyard. And that's going to trigger Bigfoot's effects, which means we'll be losing... they've also got the Blackwing as well in the graveyard. So Blackwing's going to summon itself from the graveyard by bouncing the field spell back to hand. And they're going to go into Juggeries. Their effective effect to draw 2 cards and then discard 1 card, though they skip the next draw phase. And they discard Snow. If it's discarded by the graveyard, opponent's card effect. Okay, nothing's been targeted just yet. There's another Grapher. I'm kind of fearful of this. Grapher is really good. They reactivate their Gates of the Dark World. They're going to go and banish 1 Fiend monster from the graveyard to discard 1 Fiend. So they're going to sort of discard Grapher now, I guess. Grapher's come in. So this is where we activate our Unchained Abominations effect. By destroying our own Rocket Tracer and summoning Auto Rocket Dragon. Unfortunately, we didn't get to trigger for our Unchained Abominations effect upon that, so that didn't quite work out in the end. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. But I guess because of the way that it was chained, so it means... And they got a Chaos Dragon Levianeer! Ouch! So we have a huge armada of monsters coming in now. So unfortunately Galaxy Satellite Dragon doesn't look like it's going to survive. In fact, I don't think any of these monsters are going to survive, so we'll have to think about what we're going to do next. We always have Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend as an option. Or we could do, if we went for the fact that Nightmare Unicorns come in. So Nightmare Unicorn's going to go back into our extra deck. So, no. Nightmare Unicorn's going to stay. Galaxy Satellite Dragon's going back to our extra deck. So yeah, we can keep it. Now they're using the beginning and the end. And when they get to, if they have 7 or more Dark Monsters in your graveyard, finish 5 Dark Monsters from your graveyard and draw 3 cards. A staple of Danger Dark World. We have 2 set cards. Ogre Pogo is going to activate and discard Brow. And then get to draw another card, basically. So yeah, we didn't quite go as well as I wanted to. I should have started with Dragon Knight Creation, linked off a Striker Dragon and comboed from there, but didn't quite work out like that. Took the slightly worse combo route and end up with a slightly lesser board, and this is our punishment. So yeah, now they're just popping off, really, amassing this giant board. We might not even survive this turn, to be honest. Yep, and there goes our terraforming. Not that it's much good because we already have Boot Sector launch. It would only be any good to get Dragon Ravine. So yeah, it's like a brutal dismantling at the hands of Danger Dark World. And there's the access code talker, and that's game. Because this thing cannot activate. You cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card activation, and basically you can destroy. They should destroy any card you control as it gets huge attack points, gains attack equal to that monster's link rating. So yeah, this is pretty much game. So yeah, I think we'll probably just scoot up here and go on to the next game. Okay, so this deck needs to win the next 2 games if it's to be officially the best kitchen table Jank deck. If it loses this one, then it's about the same as the Magic deck, and if it then loses the other one, it's about the same as the Pokemon deck. Anyway, we're going to quick launch into a Rokket Tracer. We've opened all 3 quick launches. And there's the Ash Blossom. It's a good job we have another quick launch then, isn't it? Quick launch is such a good card for playing for interruptions. They're going to go ahead and activate another quick launch. And chain the effective Rokket Tracer. Hopefully they don't have anything else to disrupt us for that. We're running out of resources now, unfortunately, which is a bit of a problem. And they have an effect failure, no! Okay, we'll go ahead and summon the Silver Rocket Dragon. Go ahead and grab a Striker Dragon to get Boot Sector launch to hand. And then we can go ahead and link these 2 off into Galaxy Satellite Dragon. Yeah, I think pretty much from here we have to go ahead and use Boot Sector launch to summon out both of these and link them away into the Guard Dragons. Use Pisty's effect. Grab Rokket Synchron. Link off for Quad Ball Dragon. LP effect. Nab Absolouter Dragon from the deck. Link both of them off so we can get some discard fodder for Quad Boreal. When we link these 2 into Delindrous Dragon. Let's check for now a Shell Rocket. Now we have some discard fodder, we can go ahead and bin this, destroy this. Special summon Rocket Monsters. We go Rokket Tracer, Silver Rocket Dragon. So yeah, about the same as the last game, which is not quite as good. Delindrous Dragon is going to come in, special summon itself. We'll go ahead and link these 2 off for Unchained Abomination. And then We're going to triple burst dragon, but I don't think that's really much point in having it there. Galaxy Satellite Dragon, if it survives, is much more useful in the long run. So end phase. Unchained Abomination is going to go ahead and destroy Silver Rocket Dragon, and then Silver Rocket Dragon is going to activate to look at their extra deck. 2 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragons, Scarlet Dragon Dragon Archfiend. So against someone playing a 5Ds deck very clearly. And there are 3 Halky Fibrax in there. Okay. That's really bad. So what do we want to get rid of? They're pretty stacked with the important cards. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend really doesn't do much, so we don't gain much by banishing that. Well, they might be playing Pot of Extravagance, so we're going to go ahead and run Banish Halky Fibrax. So unfortunately, not going to get much good from that. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and use Magna Rocket, get Magna Rocket Dragon out. You can use Assault Teleports to shuffle 1 Assault monster from your hand on the deck and draw 2 cards. So not opened great by the looks of things. Then I can try and get more resources. And there's Fire Formation Tenki. So they get to add a Beast Warrior from their deck to the hand, and it boosts all Beast Warrior monsters. It's commonly played in Zodiac, but this isn't really a Zodiac deck, judging by the extra deck. We're against assaults. We're against assault monsters. Not something you see. Here's Assault Sniper. Also, sorry, that's the Japanese name. This is Assault Sentinel. This has an effect. Okay. Let's go with Psy Reflector. Well, it's just definitely, we're definitely in the casual server, you can tell here. Not every day you see somebody play assault decks. But again, I'm very unfamiliar with. They're a synchro archetype by the looks of things, because we've got some really good stuff in there. So this is a tuner right here, so they can use it to go into their synchro plays. So right now they have enough for a level 5 synchro monster. They need another monster, so they are going to synchro for Stardust Dragon in response to that. Well, they can negate our cards, so we're going to go ahead and destroy Galaxy Satellite Dragon, since it was going to get destroyed by battle anyway. So that's going to tribute it. We are losing something, but we do get to activate Unchained Abomination to blow up their face down card, which was Assault Mode activates. So Assault, now Stardust Dragon is going to come back later on. And now they get to add something else. So I guess that doesn't make too much of a difference. Probably another Assault Mode activate. So Stardust Dragon is going to come back. Galaxy Satellite Dragon survives, so we actually get to use its effect to stack our deck. What do we want to get? I barely had to use this effect before, so I don't really want to get. So I think we should just grab this to set it. But then again, if the rocket's effects go off, it's not going to help really. But then we destroy Rocket Tracer, so hang on. Stardust Dragon would negate the activation of an effect to. So if we try to destroy our okay. Right, so if we do our Unchained Abomination effect, we actually lose out our Unchained Abomination, so yeah. Okay. And they bring in Stars Dragon Assault. Okay. We're going to go ahead and set this. What else can we do? We have access to Topologic Zeroboros, but it does require us to use our Unchained Abomination. That would require everything on the field. Triple Burst would allow us to keep Unchained Abomination. We're in a bit of a pickle here at the moment, because first this to attack, and then what next? Like really, what next? Because that has 3,000 attack. If we try to destroy anything, it's going to negate stuff. So I think Unchained Abomination probably ends up having to go. So we're going to crash these two into each other. But yeah, kind of that Stardust Manta is just going to destroy it immediately. So now what? Well, we have to compulse, I suppose. Raigeki! Okay, we're going to go ahead and I don't think there's much you can do actually, so yeah. We still have the compulse, so we can counter assault mode when it goes to active to I think anyway. Thing is, it can tribute itself. We do save ourselves the attack, but compulse loses the target. So what next? Okay, this is just sort of recursive loop that we can't really break, can we? What happens? What can we top deck in this deck to help ourselves? The problem is though, it responds to any card effects. So yeah, I'm just have to concede this game. We're not going to be beating the Magic deck in terms of wins with this. So yeah, we have to try and see if we can equal the Magic deck or equal the Pokemon deck. There's no two other ways about it. So yeah, so we're going to go on to the next game. On to the last game of the episode. We're going to go scissors this time. It's both scissors, so rock and I get paper. Okay. So not great start. We're going to go second, which means we have to play through a lot of interruptions potentially. So they're going to start. To be fair, I think this is the first time we've been made to go second, so they've activated Sky Iris, so your opponent cannot target Magician, Performer Power, or Organized cards in your Pendulum zones with card effects. So we're against Pendulums! And there's Amorphage Sloth. They get to destroy that to add another card, so they get to stack their extra deck. Pendulums are a very controversial mechanic that basically allows you to summon a bunch of monsters at once from your extra deck, to the point they had to create the extra monster zone in order to limit pendulums. The mechanic has received some mixed feedback, but there are a few players who are big fans of it anyway, infamously. We do have a certain Mr. Triff Gaming here. Anyway, here comes the Pendulum Summon with a Morphage Sloth, which means that we cannot summon monsters from the extra deck. Do we have anything that allows us to beat over this? Right, we're going to go ahead and normal summon and Gateway Dragon. Activate its effect. Oh, because what they got in their zone, they cannot. Okay, this is this is the dumb thing about Yu-Gi-Oh. The fact you go first, you get to basically stop your opponent from actually playing, which is really problematic to say the least. So we're going to go ahead and quick launch into what though? We're going to go ahead and nav Rocket Tracer, I think. Quick launch again to nab Anis Rocket Dragon, which are going to get destroyed at the end. We're going to have to sort of let them get destroyed in some ways so that we can. Yes, I think we're going to be losing this one, which is a shame. So yeah, I'm just talking with my opponent here. Just it's obviously he's going to win at this point. So, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Just let him know this is going to be on YouTube. But yeah, here we go. So all the Amorphage cards basically stop the opponent from being able to summon stuff. It's really good. So yeah, we're going to use our Gateway Dragon. I'm not quite sure if I have anything to be able to out their stuff because all... Yeah, that's what we have. We can summon the Dragon Knife Creation, which is the strongest thing we have, but we can't beat over anything, so what have you? Yeah. They didn't even realise that they've locked me out of the extra deck, I think. We're going to go ahead and quick... Oh no, actually we can't, so... Okay. Oh, he forgot his own effects! Oh, fun. Really nothing I can do here now. And for the sake of recording time, we're just going to surrender now. Because there's nothing we can really do here. It's just, oh, fine, look at all these monsters. And you cannot do absolutely anything. So, unfortunately, this deck has ended up having the exact same record as the Pokemon deck. So, the Magic the Gathering deck had the best record of the three in the end. So, I think we should go to the wrap-up now. So, yeah, I think we all learned from this is that if you want to do any reasonably well in Yu-Gi-Oh, you need to spend quite a bit of money. And not just on free structure decks and a few changes. We have some good cards in it, but we're missing any forms of negation whatsoever. We didn't have any hand traps. So, yeah, basically... If you don't have that access to sort of thing, it can be really difficult to play. So one thing I would change about the deck is I would put hand traps in this deck. I would take at least 3 out and run 3 Ash Blossom. That would make things significantly better and allow us some form of interruption. In terms of the extra deck, I would axe the Booster Dragon for Dragoonity Knight Romulus. These are fairly pricier cards, so it's something we have access to if necessary. So put Dragoonity Knight Romulus in there. We also can take lessons from the actual competitive Dragon Knight. We can then drop Terraforming to add Dragoonity Lance. If we can find the cards. This one here, and then we also have the equipped monster that can special summon itself, which was Phalanx, I believe. Where are you? Yeah, this one right here. So we can then basically go down. I'd probably say scrap the shell rockets. We go lose 1 rocket, but we get Dragoonity Phalanx, and in fact, basically just play Dragon Link. Just play Dragon Link was really the correct answer to this. So, yeah, so if I go to a Dragon Link deck, I have saved something like this, basically. Just play this deck is way better. You get access to things like Herald of the Arclight. You get stuff like Union Carry. You get the Buster Lock. You get all the degenerate problems with the format right now. And in the end, just don't play Kitchen Table Jank. I think that's really the whole lesson we've come through for this entire series. But we kind of knew that already. So what was there to be gained from this series? I don't know. At the end of the day, it's just a bit of fun. So yeah, that was the end of Kitchen Table Jank versus the World. I do have 2 other episodes on Magic the Gathering and Pokemon if you're interested in seeing how my attempts with Kitchen Table Jank versus the World fared on those games. But otherwise, this is the end of the series. Thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like. Please share this with your friends so you get more people watching it. Please hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on new videos as well as subscribing to the channel. Also follow me on Twitter @GenericAperson, all one word. Thank you for watching. I've been A Person. Goodbye.